If I were to move to Ottawa in 2026, this is the video I would want somebody to make for me. Not some cookie cutter top 10 neighborhoods listicle. This is exactly where I'd actually live at different stages of my life. We're talking urban high rise, those walkable village vibes, family friendly suburbs with the good schools, and that dreamy leafy riverfront property you see in those magazines. So I'm going to break down exactly what fits different lifestyles, what your commute's really going to look like, the actual vibe when you're walking around and what your money gets you. Let's dive in right now. Hey, I'm Dean, and I make videos about living in Ottawa, and also a realtor helping people just like you find their perfect spot in the city. Today, we're breaking down Ottawa into 4 life stages, and I promise this is way more useful than any other generic neighborhood ranking. So, we're going to break them down into stages. Stage 1 is high rise urban core for singles or couples who want to be where the action is. Restaurants, arenas, the LRT at your doorstep. I recently helped a young couple snag their first place in the byward market. And honestly, it was perfect for them. First time buyers who wanted that walkable, energetic vibe. Stage 2 is that young professionals looking for a townhouse in a cool, walkable pocket. Think New Edinburgh, that's just east of downtown. And I recently sold a place there for a couple of massive foodies who were obsessed with the walkability factor. Stage 3 is families. You know the drill: schools, parks, rec centers, quiet streets where kids can actually ride bikes. Just helped the couple find a gorgeous 2-story in Barhaven's Half Moon Bay. And stage 4, empty nesters and downsizers, usually looking for that boutique luxury feel. Recently worked with a couple moving from Stittsville who ended up in the Soho Champagne building just off of Preston, right below the penthouse. Absolutely stunning property, and I'll tell you more about that later. At the end of this video, I've got a quick 30-second decision map to help you pick your lane, so stick around for that. All right, let's break down stage 1. If you want that step out your door and you're already there lifestyle, the downtown core is Call Your Name. We're talking Byward Market, Lower Town, Center Town, and LeBreton Flats. Let me zoom in on my map here. This is the Ottawa core. The Byward Market is this pocket right here, definitely on the short list. And then you've got LeBreton Flats area in this core section. In this pocket, honestly, it's all about walkability. You can live completely car free if you want. Groceries are close. There are tons of gyms and rec options and restaurants everywhere. So whether you're picking up groceries or grabbing dinner, you're never more than a few minutes away. Plus, hopping on the LRT is super easy. That's our light rail transit. The O Train Confederation line cuts east to west, and stage 2 extension is opening up, which is going to give you tons and tons of reach to be able to go all over the city. And that goes all the way west to Moody Drive and south into Barhaven. This urban core is perfect if you're not interested in dealing with car ownership, traffic, and parking drama. You've got the LRT and public transit at your fingertips. And what's the energy? It's electric. Tons of festivals year round. NHL buzz, especially with talk of the Senators potentially moving to LeBreton Flats. Let's cross our fingers and hope that happens very soon. And we've got the Rideau Canal, literally the world's largest skating rink. It's an excellent area with incredible walkability. I can't stress that enough. And you may ask, what's the building style like? Think sleek glass towers near the market and the CTC area, nice boutique mid-rises around the Elgin Centertown area. Newer condos are popping up around LeBreton Flats as well. Now, who is this right for? So singles or couples who want to trade space for location, frequent flyers. You can be at the airport in 15 to 20 minutes, which is pretty sweet. Lock and leave lifestyle with concierge service. Gotta love that. With all the remote work and travel happening these days, you don't have to stress about property maintenance. It's super easy to get in and out of your building, and typically most of these buildings will come with a good amount of amenities to help you relax. Now here's a reality check. Nights and weekends are lively. That's what you're signing up for. If you need complete silence or crave a quieter vibe, keep watching. The next category might be more your speed. Also, parking can get pricey, so factor that into your budget. If you're keeping a car, you want to know, is my property coming with a parking spot, or am I have to separately budget for an extra space to park? Now, stage 2 is for those young professionals out there. If you're in the hard work, play hard, work hard, play hard mode, maybe you've got a dog, probably you own a Peloton, and Sunday brunch with friends is a non-negotiable. I'd put Hindenburg, Wellington Village, Westboro and Preston area on your short list. Those are some of my absolute favorites. Now let's zoom in on those areas. This is our Ottawa map, and the pockets I'm talking about are right here. Wellington West, Westboro, Little Italy area, These are seriously trendy neighborhoods and they're very, very popular at the moment. Yeah, they are pricier than stage one, but they've got some amazing offerings. Little Italy is incredibly popular, tons of restaurants close to Dow's Lake, and Westboro is packed with wonderful shops, coffee spots, and tons of boutique restaurants you won't see anywhere. Why are people flocking here? Well, village vibes for real. You got the authentic Main Street feel, indie coffee shops, bakeries, yoga studios galore, breweries. Transit and pathways are super accessible too. There's the LRT station at Tunney's Pasture and the Ottawa River and Rideau Canal pathways, and perfect for cycling, running, walking. In winter, they maintain them for cross country skiing. It's honestly wonderful, and it's honestly one of my favorite areas to be in, especially if I'm craving a good espresso, maybe a nice sandwich from an Italian deli. These are definitely the places to look for that. Now, what's the housing mix? There we got a mixture of stacked townhomes, classic semis, renovated singles, more space than downtown condos, but you're still close to everything. What's a typical day like in those areas? Walk the dog to Hindenburg Park, grab an espresso on Wellington, bike the river pathway, then a quick 3 to 5 minute walk to your favorite dinner spot. And trust me, the dinner spots won't disappoint. Now, what's the realistic budget? These pockets come to at a premium. Average prices are tough to pin down exactly, but I'd say if you're looking at anywhere from 750K up to 1.3 million, depending on what you're after, reach out if you want me to narrow that down for you as well. Now, the question is, who fits here? Young professionals, creative types, remote workers who really value walkability, couples without kids who want room for gear and a proper home office. But there is also a good amount of families living in the area as well. Stage three is families. All right, let's talk families. When life becomes car seats and snack cups everywhere, you want schools, parks, and predictability. Ottawa's big three family hubs are coming up, and I'm going to break them all down. All right, so option one is going to be Kanata slash Stittsville. Let me zoom in. Here's Ottawa, and Kanata is this big pocket right here. It's outside. It's outside Ottawa proper, about 20 to 25 minutes out. There's a reason for that. The cost of a home in the downtown core just doesn't work for most families. Um, you've got to go a little bit further out to get the size that you want. I've got tons of clients moving to Ottawa's West End because of the family-friendly vibe, the parks, the parks, the rec facilities, all the good stuff you want when raising kids. It's also the tech hub. You've got Kanata Lakes, excellent schools, and fast access via the 417. It's super easy to get on the highway from Kanata. Downtown from Kanata is 20 to 45 minutes, depending on traffic, off peak, about 20 minutes straight shot from west to east. Now, the feel of the properties are, they're larger lots in older pockets with beautiful tree lined streets. Areas like Beaverbrook, Bridlewood, Blackstone, Glencairn, and Kanata North are all really good options, especially Blackstone. Now, what are some perks? Right now, the Sens play at the Canadian Tire Center, which is in Kanata, though there are talks of moving them to LeBreton Flats. Either way, having the big stadium nearby means concerts, events galore, and all that good stuff, especially if you have kids. A Sens game is a great way to bond with your kid. Option number two, we got Barrhaven. Let me pull it up on the map again. As we scroll in, Barrhaven is this whole pocket in this area right here. You can see this area. This yellow line is the 416, your major route downtown. Barrhaven to downtown is about 30 to 45 minutes. You can also go down the route of going all the way through Woodruff and hitting the 417, or you can go from the back end going through the 416. Why do people love Barrhaven? Schools everywhere, and honestly, affordability. There's so much new construction happening that builders are competing hard, which keeps prices reasonable. And it's one of the more affordable um, suburbs in the area. And Barrhaven is by far the most affordable new home area for families. You can get a brand new 4 bedroom for anywhere from 729,000 up to 950,000, depending on the features. So if you're looking for smaller single or a townhome, or going up to a large single, like these are the areas that would make sense for you. What's the feel like? It's a master plan community, which means they actually thought this through before building. Street sizes, parks, rec facilities, shopping, it's all properly planned out. You're not dealing with infrastructure playing catch up, so it's all kind of going in at the same time, or it's already developed throughout. Typically, these are brand new homes and also established properties from the 70s and 80s. Now, you won't get anything really older than that typically. Those new homes come with builder warranties, which is huge if anything goes wrong in the first few months or first few years. You got to remember that your Terry on warranty is up to 7 years and the coverage changes throughout the years. Relate to this because I do personally live in a suburb, and let me tell you, I do a lot of maintenance on my home. And the fact that me and my girlfriend live in a newer home, we love it. There's nothing to really change. We do love the fact that a lot of stuff is under warranty, and there's nothing to think about going down the road. We got 5 to 10 years where we don't really have to think about anything at all. Now, option number three is Orleans. Back to the map. This is Ottawa, and Orleans is this pocket right here. Distance wise, downtown to Ottawa, Orleans is about 25 to 45 minutes, depending on traffic. The one thing I love about Orleans is it's got two straight lines. You got the 417 up there, and you got Innis Road, which goes all the way through. The beautiful thing about Orleans, the LRT goes right to Blair Station at 10th line, making it super easy to get downtown. Think about winter storms. Instead of white knuckling it for an hour or two in your car, you've been on the train, chilling with your phone, reading, having a coffee. Way less stressful. Honestly, complete game changer. Another benefit of Orleans is it does have a strong French. Sorry, Another benefit of Orleans is it has a strong French presence. So lots of French speaking residents. So French immersion is a great option. Many families are choosing Orleans specifically for that French exposure, especially if you're coming from another city, if you're coming from Montreal, Gatineau, all that stuff. If you've spoken French the fastest, it's the great place to keep the French going. What's the feel like? The Ottawa River right here, tons of green space, evolving trails, homes range from 1980s build to brand new construction. All that new building creates competition among builders, which means better prices and more bang for your buck. Orleans is probably the best bang for your buck you're going to get in the city in terms of size, overall upgrades, and in terms of the type of builders that are there. All right, the backyard math. Townhomes stretch your dollar the furthest. Think 3 bedroom, 1 car garage, small backyard, low maintenance. Detached homes give you yard privacy, but bump up the price and taxes. Most detached most detached come with double car garage, though, which is clutch since most families do have 2 cars, especially in Ottawa. And if you're going to be living a little bit further out, you're going to want 2 cars. Stage four is empty nesters and downsizers. Final stage, empty nesters and downsizers. If you want serenity, morning walks under maple trees, or coffee by the river, I'd look at Rockcliffe Park, New Edinburgh, Manor Park, or boutique condo living in the Glebe, Old Ottawa South, or Westboro. Really, you've got two paths here, and I see it all the time. Path one is the luxury property on the river or in Rockcliffe Park, like a beautiful bungalow where you want, everything on one floor. Then then you just outsource all the maintenance, grass cutting, snow blowing, garden care, all that stuff. Path two is to move to a condo because it's easy. A lot of folks in the stage are snowbirds. They take off to warmer places in the winter, whether that's down south or over to Europe. Think Portugal, Spain, wherever. A condo means you just lock the door and you go. You don't have to worry about anybody doing anything there. You don't have to worry. Like, the only thing is really just making sure that the temperature is at the right temperature, and off you go. If you're thinking luxury living, look at Manor Park on the river or nice bungalows in Manor Park Estates. And let me zoom in on that. The Manor Park area is this pocket right here where my cursor is. I've seen a lot of people in this position who built up significant equity over their lives. They're downsizing, but don't want to compromise on size because they have big families and grandchildren. They like to entertain, like to have friends over and family over. They want space for those gatherings. So they buy large estate properties and outsource the maintenance, which is honestly very, very common. That'd be in Rockcliffe area right here. This is Rockcliffe Manor Park. If you want the lock and leave winter escape lifestyle, we're talking boutique luxury condos in Westboro, the Glebe, or around Preston Street. Like I mentioned earlier, I recently helped a couple move from their 3,500 square foot home in the Kanata area into a Soho Champagne condo building. They're on the 19th floor overlooking Dow's Lake. Absolutely stunning. Those pockets would be in the Westboro area, right around here. The Glebe and Preston Street, Little Italy right here, and the Glebe right in this area. There's lots of options depending on which path calls to you. So there you have it, 4 stages of life. Where do you fit? Let me round this out with a couple more things to consider. Be honest about your 5 minute life: gym, daycare, coffee, skating rink, yoga, basketball. Where are you at? Ottawa has clusters and micro neighborhoods that guarantee will fit your lifestyle. And I always talk about macro and micro neighborhoods, and micro is something that affects your day to day life. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably relocating Ottawa, so let's talk snow. We get a lot of it. Garages and driveways matter. So south facing driveways melt snow faster. Older trees, canopies are gorgeous, but means tons of fall cleanup. Keep this stuff in mind when you're narrowing down the area you want to be living in, or the narrowing down the homes that you're on your search. All right, here's the quick decision map I promised. I want energy and vibe, and I don't have a car. I'm talking about Byward Market, Centertown, Le Breton. I want walkability with a bit more space. I'm thinking Nuremberg, Westboro, and Little Italy, Old Ottawa East. I want schools and a yard for my family. I'm thinking Kanata, Barhaven, Orleans. And one sneak one that we haven't discussed is Riverside South. It's kind of attached to Barhaven, but I'll sneak that one in because it is a little bit separate. I want quiet, prestigious luxury living to downsize. Well, Manor Park, New Edinburgh, Rockcliffe, or the condo route, whether you're in Glebe, Preston, or Westboro, those are all really good options. Now, if you're moving to Ottawa or moving within the Ottawa area, drop your timeline and lifestyle in the comments below. We're getting tons of interaction and it's super helpful. I had a client recently tell me they found us on YouTube and loved reading through all of your comments and interactions. So take a minute, drop a comment about where you're at in life and your timeline. I'll reply with my professional take on where I'd recommend. Plus, you'll get the benefit of our community chiming in too. And once you've figured out which neighborhood speaks to you, the next big question is affordability. How much home do you want to pay for? Can your salary actually get you that? Can your salary actually get you that in those areas? Don't worry, I've broken all that down for you. Check out my next video right here.